Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and today we'll be doing the last of the activities we can do during the Midsummer Festival. This is something that we could have technically done right after finishing the epic, but I think this works really well as an epilogue of sorts to the entire Midsummer affair. So that's why I saved it for last. Plus, this will require us many days of dailies, so I wanted to get all the other things done before focusing on this one. Well, we will begin by talking with Tolkien.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Welcome, Beriathan. As an honored guest, the High King and High Queen have requested your presence at their wedding banquet on this most momentous Midsummer's Day. Once the ceremonies have concluded, you have been given leave to mingle with the other attendees. It seems quite a few of them desire to speak with you. May you enjoy the banquet and remember this night for years to come. A celebration without end indeed. So, as we've been told, many of the guests here in the banquet would like to speak with us, and they have different requests for us. So we have the 4 hobbits, we have a Legolas and Gimli, a Gandalf, we have Faramir instead of Boromir, and we have Aragorn. So this is one of those deeds that is modeled or based, inspired on the Fellowship, but you can only do one of these per day. We're gonna actually begin with Frodo.
Good evening to you.
How have you been enjoying the banquet? To my mind, it is hard to recall a more pleasant night in recent memory. Frodo shifts in his seat. Even so, I have been thinking on all that has happened since I left the Shire. I was wondering what Uncle Bilbo would make of all this business, and that has given me an idea. Uncle Bilbo kept a diary, so why shouldn't I write of my own adventures? Could you find me a quill and a file of ink? Oh, and a few sheets of parchment. This one is simple enough, and this one shouldn't take us too long to complete actually. The quest in here would have some tips. The quills, files of ink, and sheets of parchment might be found in either the Houses of Lore or the Blue Theater. So where to, I wonder? Because it's my understanding that yes, all these items can be found in either the Houses of Lore or the Blue Theater, but if you go to the Houses of Lore, there are not enough items in the Houses of Lore for you to be able to complete a quest only visiting that location. That's what I remember. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to risk it actually. So I think what we're gonna do is go to the Blue Theater directly and play it safe, because well, we need to do 9 different quests in the span of one episode,
Sometimes indeed.
and I want to be as time efficient as I can, and that includes, well, playing it safe, doing what I know will work. So we're gonna ride to the theater, not on the worsted though. That of course will be faster, but riding the worsted in a series is not the best of ideas, especially during the Midsummer Festival, which can be pretty crowded. So for the time being, we're gonna just stick to the regular horse. Let's see. Here we are in the theater. We have the Cloudy Heads quest available. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna focus on gathering the materials for Frodo. So first of all, let us check the first floor of the theater. We have some parchment here. We have the ink. Awesome. And the quill. That's great. That's great. So now we only need to find 2 more sheets of parchment. this is the backstage, but... Nope. I don't think here in this sort of warehouse I will find the parchment I'm looking for. There's another one in here. And hopefully... No, not here. Don't you worry, Dynamo Joe. I'm not trying to get the NPCs from you. Not what I'm doing today. Oh, I know. This is the one that I already used. I already took that one. Door, sheet of parchment, yeah. I was trying to avoid using the delete key, but once again, time efficiency. We're going back to Frodo right now, and trying to not use mithril coins, not worth it for this. So this means just making use of the stable masters. But as you can see here, most of these quests are relatively short. I can only remember a couple that I found tedious, that require you to visit many different locations. A lot of paddling Marys, especially, I remember being quite long, but for the most part, you just need to visit one or two locations around Minas Tirith and then be back. There are some other quests that are even shorter than this one, so it evens out in the end, I guess. One compensates the other, so to speak. What a lovely midsummer day it is today, as always. So back to the hall. Yeah, open the doors, please. But for the banquet hall itself, I really like having loading names off. That can be quite overwhelming. We don't need that right now. So we're gonna talk to Frodo.
I must say, even such a grand feast makes me long for the comforts of the Shire.
Did you find what I asked for? Oh, good, good. I do hope it wasn't too much trouble, Beriathan. Now, where to begin? Okay, wait for Frodo to decide how to start his tale of adventure. Okay. We'll need to wait a full minute for it, so in the meantime, I guess we can try and get a good picture of this table, the main table, of course. Trying to get all the guests in one picture is difficult. Gandalf and Elrond. I think this is as best as I can do. Our elven guests as well. Yeah, I think that's the best we can do with what we have. Frodo lets out a long sigh and chuckles to himself. What is it, Frodo?
I suppose I should just enjoy the banquet tonight, shouldn't I?
I thought I'd so much to say, but the words just will not come to me right now. Thank you all the same, Beriathan. I hope you enjoy the rest of the banquet, and I will be sure to tell you when I finish my tale. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And we have unlocked the deed, a Fist of Fellowship. So we're gonna add this deed to the tracker to, well, keep better track of how we advance this deed, but that's all we can do for today. And the banquet continued long into the night. Yes, That's the way the wrapper ends for every single one of these ones. But that's all we can do for today, as I was telling you, so I'll be right back when I'm ready to continue the edit. We're gonna do some quest next, so just a moment. Very well, we're back and we're ready now to start Sam's quest.
A fine evening it is.
Let us check this one. A fine evening it is. Say, Beriathan, I'd like to have a word with you in some place a bit more quiet. There's an alcove down the stairs across from this table, so I hear. Would you meet me there? It's not a conversation befitting this table, if you understand my meaning. And he disappeared. But, well, he's not far. It's right over here. Somehow found respite in a small alcove beneath the main hall of Metatron.
I miss the Shire just as much as Mr. Frodo, but an awful lot to explain to Rosie, I've been told.
You see, I feel as if I've only just realized I've not had more than a moment or two afford tonight to think about what I left behind at home in the Shire. I wonder how my family is, and I wonder if the Cottons think I'm ever coming home. If I were them, I'd be of a half mind to believe me dead. I miss the Shire just as much as Mr. Frodo, but I'll have an awful lot to explain to Rosie when I get home. It's a difficult thing, Beriathan. These worrisome thoughts of home are heavy on my heart, and I wish I knew how to press on in spite of them. I hope you don't mind me saying so, but you've always seemed so determined, at least to me. Could you help me to push away these thoughts so I can enjoy myself tonight? Absolutely, Sam. Just give me a moment, because I think this is the... I mean, I don't think we've seen that tapestry on that size before. So all we need to do here for Sam's quest is run around the banquet hall, dispersing these thoughts of different hobbits. Jolly Cotton. What sort of hobbit wants to leave the Shire anyhow? Ah, you'd be surprised. All the things there are to see in the Shire. Outside the Shire, actually. Tolman Cotton. The Gaffer's not heard a word from him. I don't think he's coming back. Don't be so pessimistic. I'm sure Sam's okay. Nick Cotton. I've no time for adventure, Sam. There's stealing to be done. Now we go here, downstairs. Here we have... Oh, I missed it. I know. That marker on the map is something else. What we need to check is actually here. Hal Gamgee! Why do you have to go so far, Sam? Olberton was far enough for me. Yeah, I don't remember us doing any quests for Hal, but he is there in Olberton, and it's a really funny guy to talk to. Nips Cotton. Help, Sam. The shrews have gotten out of hand. Well, I think Sam has had his own kind of shrews, if you get my meaning as well. And he's coming back really soon to get care of all the shrews in the Shire. Gaffer Gamgee. Where'd you've gotten up to, son? There's gardening that needs doing. Gardening too. Here, Marigold Gamgee. Do you care more about Mr. Frodo than Rosie, Sam? Is that a quote from the book? A paraphrasing from the book? It seems familiar enough. And here we have Rosie Cotton. At Sam's table. You didn't even say goodbye. Why did you have to go, Sam? It was for a good cause, Rosie, and I'm sure he will explain everything to you once he gets back. So it's done, Sam. All the thoughts have been dispersed. What have you to say?
Oh, thank you. Now, if you don't mind me saying so, I have a banquet to attend.
You are very welcome. So, we have completed Sam's quest. And we have completed the wrapper quest. So that's Hobbit number 2, and next on the list is Mary. Where's Mary exactly? Ah, here's right over here. Sitting on the table with... I know, that's Pippin. My god, those two hobbits are so similar. Mary is here, yeah. With the Rohirrim, that's more likely. So, give me just a moment and I'll be back to do Mary's quest. Alright, so now we're ready to continue with Mary's quest. So let us see what he wants us to do.
Just the thing to liven up this banquet.
Hello, Beriathan. Not getting tired so soon, are you? I know just the thing to liven up this banquet. I just don't quite recall where I left it. Back when we were at Isengard, I packed away a bit of the long-bottom leaf we found in the stores. After all, it's not like Saruman was going to use it stuck up in his tower. Anyway, I can't remember if I left my pipe with near the bats in the great guest house, by some of the horses in the high stables, or over by the prow of Minas Tirith. It's got to be one of those. If you go find it, I'd be happy to share it with you. Why, I'd be glad to share every last bit of it tonight. Alright, so we need to look for Mary's pipe with the southern great guest house of the bats. I do remember a little bit about how to get to those bats. And the prow, oh well, the high stables is on the 6th circle, so that one we'll have to wait a little bit. Let us do the guest house first, and let's see how we fare. Very peculiar of a hobbit to misplace his pouch of pipewit, but we gotta help poor Mary. I guess he was so excited by the wedding he just forgot where he left it. Kinda unusual. But let's see if we can find it. So maybe here on the upper level. The comfort of the bats would be ideal for pipewit, but you find no sign of it. Yeah, it's not here. I had just forgotten to unload my Titan bar. I usually use it to check some stats that are easily accessible through Titan bar. The time of day, inventory, and the like. But I don't like it too much for recording. I had just forgotten to unload it. My bad there. Anyway, it's not a big deal in any case. Anyway, the guest house is over now. Well, it wasn't there. And we gotta look for it on the prow. Oh, how gorgeous does Minas Tirith looks in the morning. Oh my god. Just love this place. Especially the Midsummer version. I mean, the pre-battle version is during the dawnless days, so it's hard to get good pictures of Minas Tirith in there. The after-battle version is half destroyed, and you can only explore a couple circles in the city, so it's very limited. But here, not only can you explore the entire city, but all the Midsummer decorations, these statues, all the flowers, everything make it look so lovely. It's hard not to love. Scattered petals from the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen lie nearby, but that is all. Alright. Nothing here as well. So, the high stables. Let us see if we have better luck in the high stables. Down the ramp we go. Our fellow Citadel guards standing on the gate, doing the good work for us so that we can partake in the celebrations, for which we're thankful. And the celebrations are almost over, and after that we're back on duty, not in the city itself, but still doing the bidding of the king, so that's gotta count for something, I guess. So, the high stables, there we go. Where do we look for it? On the upper level, maybe? Among all the crates, barrels, and hay bales in high stables, you find no pipeweed. Yeah, I remember I've only done Merry Quest once before today, and I remember that time I spent a lot of time running around the high stables not knowing where to go, and you can say in fact it was so traumatic that now I remember the location, even a year after I did it. That gives you an idea of how long did I struggle with that one. I just hope... I don't remember too well what comes after, but I just hope that Mary will not have us go on a goose chase all around the city. The city is huge, so you gotta help me here. I hope we are not gonna spend a lot of time doing this. As you enter Metatron, Tolkien tries to get your attention.
What can I do for you?
Beriathan, you are not by chance looking for Master Meriadoc's pipeweed, are you? He gave it to me for safekeeping before the ceremony, but it has been quite a busy day. If you'd like to bring it to him, I see it near the bottom of the stairs down to the kitchens. Oh, and may I help you with anything else? No? Very good. Okay, down the kitchens, that's great. That's very helpful. Where are the stairs down the kitchen again? Oh my god. I'm so glad this was it. I really was not looking forward to looking for the pipeweed all around the city. Oh, there we go. This was quite simple, simpler than I remembered it. A small portion of the stock inside went skipping, but more than enough for a banquet. More than enough, even if more people want to share in, as I guess they'll need to. Oh, but it just hit me. The reason why we're getting this pipeweed quest with Mary is also due to the fact that after Theoden's death, he said he was not going to smoke any pipeweed ever again, but Aragorn said to him, well, smoke your pipeweed and remember Theoden every time you do so. Oh, so that's why this quest is all about. Oh, I had missed the point entirely the first time.
Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but I hope this night never ends.
I don't know how did I come to this realization now, but I'm so glad that I did on camera. It's such a nice detail. This makes me appreciate Mary's quest all the more. You found it? Oh, wonderful. Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but I hope this banquet never ends. And that's it for Mary. And the next one on the list is Pippin. But once again, we'll need to wait until the quest is available once again. So I'll be back with you when I'm ready to continue with Pippin's quest. Very well, we're ready now to continue with Pippin.
And here I thought we hobbits had feasts all sorted out.
But I suppose it's time to make good on a promise I made to some friends down in the old guest house. I had intended to deliver some platters of food to them, but it seems I am in no position to leave this banquet. After all, who knows what could go wrong if Mary and I weren't around to see that it goes perfectly. Could you go down to the kitchens of Metatron and collect as many platters of food as you can bear? After that, well, just roll down to the old guest house and I think my friends will be waiting for you. I knew I could count on you, Beriathan. Okay, that seems simple enough. I actually remember this quest so differently. There's still time though for what I remember to happen, so I'd much rather wait and see how this quest turns out. So yeah, let us gather all the food for Pippin's friends. Alright. That's 4. Some cheese, of course. You can never have too much cheese. And some pastries. Those look great. Travel to the old guest house. Alright, so for that one, I think it would be faster, well, easier, if we could just... Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to the high stables and take the stable master, of course. There's no point in riding through all the 7 circles when we can fast travel. The question in here, I think the old guest house is perfectly in between the stable master at the first and second circles. At least on the map, there doesn't seem to be too much of a difference. I guess the first circle is slightly closer, because on the second circle you still have to go down the ramp, and the ramp would leave you too far away, maybe. So that's what I'm gonna do. Sounds like a plan. We're gonna... yeah, travel to the first circle. That's what we're gonna do.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Let us go. And from here, it's a really short, really short ride, actually. I don't think I needed the horse at all. A few of the children who dwell in the old guest house appear to be waiting. Gelwen, Landath, and Glatham, of course. Bergil is at the banquet, so somebody else seems to be in charge here. Did Prince Peregrine send you? He told us he had something special planned for us. You offered the platters of food to the children at the old guest house. Is all of this for us? I'll make sure we share it with everyone else. Thank you so much. And tell the prince we say thanks too. Right, yeah, that seems to be it. I don't know why I remembered Pippin's quest at the third circle. There's nothing else. I mean, nothing to send you to the third circle, so I don't know why I had this in my mind. Maybe I was confusing Pippin's quest for somebody else's?
Times indeed.
I mean, not complaining, this was actually really short. Way shorter than I expected. Way shorter than I remembered. Kinda surprised, huh? That's great. That way... I mean, this was one of the shorter ones, actually. When you are not doing all the other dailies alongside them. This one was really fast, so that means that's a couple more minutes we can take down from the video. I mean, you know, I'm aiming for the 60-minute mark on this one, as on all the other ones. But well, it seems it will be doable. I'm so excited. So surprised. Pleasantly surprised. We did it, Pippin.
It's a shame that all our friends can't celebrate with us. But the king and I came to something of an agreement.
You see, the king was quite fond of my idea to look after the children and refugees still dwelling in the old guest house. That one did not take much convincing on my part, thankfully. However, Pippin produces a sealed missive from his pocket. This proved to be a much more difficult discussion. Beriathan, why don't you give this to Beregond? What is this? Beregond opens the missive and begins to read it. This is the same invitation that Prince Faramir received. It is the very invitation that allowed me to return to Minas Tirith for the High King's wedding and to see my beloved Gilithil and Bergil. This was your doing, Peregrine? I do not know what to say. Pippin smiles at Beregond. Thank you for allowing me the chance to be among my family in Minas Tirith, even if it is only for one night.
See? We hobbits know a thing or two about bending the rules.
You have my thanks, Beriathan. Oh, yeah, that was something I was wondering as well. Why was Beregond in here? Because Aragorn's judgment of Beregond, if I'm not mistaken, was at the fields of Cormallen, and there he said Beregond was never to return to Minas Tirith he was to stay in Ithilien guarding Faramir. So I was wondering what was Berigon doing here. So I'm glad to see the devs didn't forget about that detail. That's amazing as well. And once again, a very short quest actually. And the next one on the list is Gimli, who is right over here. So I'll be back with you when I'm ready to do Gimli's quest. Just a moment. Alright, so here we are, back ready to do Gimli's quest.
I have never seen such beauty.
So let us see what this one is all about. Aye, have you ever seen such beauty? Gimli glances around at Beriathan, seemingly in awe at the Gondorian craft skill needed for its construction. Fine indeed, especially for the hands of men. But what of the hands of dwarves? What of my hands? You see, it has set my mind on the future. Drink with me, Beriathan, and let me tell you what I seek to do. Alright. Here's to you, Gimli. Gimli gestures for you to listen to him. Sorry. You saw the fate that befell the gate of Minas Tirith, yes? It seems the foul magic of the Witch King could not be undone. Indeed, the men of Gondor are fortunate that he so swiftly followed its destruction. What stands there now shall serve for a time, but it is not befitting of the White City. I intend to ask the High King if I may aid in the construction of a new gate. If he should permit it, it will stand as its predecessor did in defense of Gondor. Let us hope it shall never be needed. Share another drink with me, won't you? Gimli excitedly gestures for you to listen again. And then there is the matter of the glittering caves. Even now, proud dwarfs of Durin's folk delve new holes in its depths. Already? That's good. And I have been told that among its many seams we have found traces of mithril. That's even better. It may never equal Khazad-dûm, but such a pursuit would be folly. No, it shall be a masterwork of my own design. And to that point, let us speak.
No dwarf of good repute would allow a flagon of ale, even one so fine, mind you, to speak on his behalf.
Tonight, that is what you are for, Beriathan. Do you see the Lady Galadriel sitting at the wedding table? Her radiance knows no equal. I have cherished the gifts she granted to me since we parted in Lothlorien, and I would grant her one in return. I ask only that the Lady Galadriel one day visit the Glittering Caves. It shall be years before my work is finished, but that is not so long a time by the reckoning of elves. Would you do this for me, Beriathan? Alright, so I don't know what to feel about this. So basically as good as a pint of ale, is what Gimli is saying. As you tell Galadriel of Gimli's plans for the coming days and offer an invitation on his behalf, she begins to chuckle softly. You may tell Gimli that I have not forgotten the manner of our meeting in Lothlorien, nor have I forgotten the manner of our parting. A gift given freely need not be repaid. Although I must decline Gimli's invitation, do not think that I do so in unkindness. I look now to the west, for that is where my future leads me. Yet, I know that our paths shall cross once more ere the end. Do not let your hearts be troubled in times of such joy. Much still remains to be seen. Much still, indeed.
There will be time enough tomorrow to talk of days to come, I think.
What had the Lady Galadriel to say, Beriathan? You tell Gimli of Galadriel's words. When you mention that Galadriel knows their paths shall cross once again, a smile spreads across Gimli's face. There will be time enough tomorrow to talk of days to come, I think. For tonight, let us be merry. Okay, there we go. That was actually way shorter than I expected too. I don't know why people don't usually advise on doing Gimli's quest if you're trying to do all this in a hurry, but I guess there are other quests that are even faster. In any case, well, that was it for Gimli's quest, and next on the list we have Legolas, so I'll be back with you once we're ready to continue with Legolas's quest. Alright, so the time has come now to do Legolas' quest, now that that one is available.
Morgul Vale, my friend.
Maigovanen, Beriathan, it is good to see you. Even just a short time ago, I could hardly have imagined sharing such a night with so many friends. Indeed, in the time of elves, it has been but a moment since we battled together at the Hornburg. Legolas smiles to himself. Did you know that Gimli and I held a contest of sorts during that long night? Those whose loot were counted in each of our favors, and by it on, Gimli had bested me by a mere orc, 42 to my count of 41 as I recall. It seems to me that we are overdue for a rematch. Let us consider it if a contest of fortitude. Wine for wine, we shall see which of us is the victor. Would you ask him on my behalf? Contest of fortitude. Have you any idea how much I've had already? No, you can tell Legolas I appreciate the offer, but this is not the time for such things.
I did not grudge him the game at the Hornburg. Perhaps Gimli fears a different outcome this time.
Legolas smiles wryly. I fear I have chosen my words poorly to the mind of a dwarf. I think I know something certain to win Gimli's attention. Will you go down to the kitchens of Beriathan and find some bottles of wine for us? 10 ought to do. Once you have done that, challenge Gimli to battle against me. If I have supposed correctly, I think he shall find himself unable to refuse. Okay, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. There's a difference between a contest and a battle. So not so much between a battle and a bottle. Sorry, that's a terrible joke. But you know me, I'm a sucker for that kind of jokes. Anyway, bad jokes aside, we just need to pick some wine here in the kitchens. And we'll see how it goes. So, as you've seen, this quest, Legolas's quest, is a play or the unofficial sequel, if you will, to the contest they had in Helm's Deep. So I enjoy how, well, I told you this before, but I enjoy how all these quests are a continuation of some of the themes and some of the events that were presented on either the games or the books. For example, just a few minutes ago when we were doing Gimli's quest, I didn't take the time to comment too much on it, but I enjoyed how it was, on one hand, continuing Gimli's idea of settling up at the Glittering Caves. In fact, it seems there are already some dwarves in there, but also how it also tries to continue Gimli's and Galadriel's storyline. Well, Galadriel refuses, of course, but her promise of meeting again is, well, I think a prediction using her gift of foresight, to predict to Gimli they will meet again. Gimli will travel with Legolas to the Undying Lands. I don't expect the game to take the time to get there. I mean, just take a look of how long have we taken to get to the Scouring of the Shire, so I think Legolas and Gimli sailing to the Undying Lands. I don't see that as a possibility, but still fun to see the game mentioning that event. And so now Gimli has another reason for going with Legolas, and that is reuniting with Galadriel. So yeah, I enjoy how all these quests are continuing the themes and events of the story. Gimli raises an eyebrow appraisingly.
Oh, that's how it's to be then. I'll show the both of you.
Gimli takes 5 of the bottles you're holding and slides them over to his end of the table. Do you see these, Legolas? I'll show you a thing or two about fortitude. Oh my god, yeah, you were totally right, Legolas.
Well, I suppose we shall see who is the victor by the end of Midsummer's Day.
Thank you for playing along with our little game, Beriathan. Okay, that was it. But I would love to see how this battle ends. Although, if we guide ourselves with the movies, on the extended edition of Return of the King, Gimli and Legolas do exactly that. and Legolas wins. There's no discussion there. I mean, Gimli drops to the floor drunk and Legolas barely feels anything, so I think that's how it's gonna end today as well. So let's call it a draw. Gimli wins at Helm's Deep and Legolas wins at the banquet. But since we cannot see how that battle ends, we'll just need to wait until the next quest is available, and the next one on the list is Faramir. So I'll be back with you when we are ready to continue with Faramir's quest. Very well, we're ready now to continue with Faramir's quest, so let's get to it.
Never have I known such a joyous midsummer's day.
And yet, my mind is troubled. Here I sit, the steward of Gondor, but the last of my line. When my brother fell in the lands of Rohan, his horn was broken in two. In time it came into my father's keeping, and now it is in mine. It is a symbol of Boromir's sacrifice, Beriathan, and one that shall not be forgotten to the free peoples of Middle-earth. You have done great deeds in service of my people, and I would allow you to examine it for yourself. Let us reflect for a moment in remembrance of Boromir, son of Gondor. The horn is right here on the table. Cleft in twain after Boromir sounded it at Amonhen, the horn remains an heirloom of Gondor.
Oh, that father could have seen this night, and that Boromir too could have shared in it.
Father fought for so long against the shadow, and this would have been his greatest hope for Gondor and all of Middle-earth. Mithrandir's words at the ceremony did not go unnoticed, Beriathan. Denethor was a proud man, and it was not his weakness, but the might of the enemy that so twisted his mind in his final years. I do not think ill of him, nor shall I ever. After I awoke in the houses of healing, I traveled to Rath Dinen. There, amidst the ruins of the House of the Stewards, I took a stone in remembrance of my father. With the coronation of the High King and his wedding to Arwen Undomiel, my father should at last be at rest. Here, Beriathan, take this stone and bury it in the soil beside the sapling. Let the memory of my father be joined with the very root of the white tree. I love Faramir's quest. Not only it's a short one, it's one of the shortest ones in this entire chain, as a matter of fact, but it also gives us some insight into his relation with Denethor and Boromir, some closure as well. We of course cannot have Denethor or Boromir, so of course we have Faramir in representation of them both, so that we can still have the full fellowship. So I love that detail as well. As you cover the stone in soil, you consider the life of Denethor. The life of Denethor as it was during the last days of the War of the Ring, but also being a member of the Citadel Guard, the life of Denethor as it was during all the years of the war. So yeah, I would say this is a special moment for Beriathan too, honoring Denethor's memory, because he was a great leader, even though he was overtaken by shadow at the end.
When next I see Eowyn, I shall know the words.
Let us dwell no longer on the past, but instead look to the days ahead. I am parted from my love, but it shall not remain so. To bear witness such a union has emboldened my heart. When next I see Eowyn, I shall know the words. Alright, so I'm really looking forward to it. And you know, now that I think of it, this is another evidence that all this thing at Midsummer, the wedding and everything else, it's supposed to come before what happens in Minas Morgul. I don't want to get into too much spoilers right now, but now that I'm thinking about Faramir and Eowyn, I see here another reason why this should be done before. So I'm glad once again that we're doing this at this moment and not any other. But in any case, that was it for Faramir's quest, as you see, one of the shortest ones. And next on the list is Mithrandir, just right here at the table. I'll be back with you when we are ready to get to his quest. Perfect. We're here back now, ready to do Mithrandir's quest. I always get a little confused. We're going between Gandalf and Mithrandir depending on where he is located and how the people of that place call him, but, well, bottom line, we gotta do the quest now.
And how are you enjoying this fine banquet? Quite a bit, I hope. I most certainly am.
Although, Mithrandir pauses and looks to the end of the table. I must confess that in my haste to take my seat here in Metathrod, I seem to have forgotten something in my guest chamber. If it were of little import, I am certain it could wait until after the banquet. Unfortunately, it cannot. In my keeping, there are 2 tomes from the Houses of Lore. The first is a treatise on the line of kings in Gondor, and the other is a chronicle of the Northern Kingdom. Will you fetch them for me? Absolutely. So, next on the list, back to the to the High Guest House, I think it's called. Oh, right, there we go. Bottom line, yeah, back to Mithrandir's chambers. And thank God, well, this one is also really close by. But, yeah, I always get confused with the door, somehow. At least I think it was this one? In the High Guest House. No, this is for Mary's quest. Ah, God. It was just right here. Yeah, so simple but so confusing at the same time. Anyway, here we are now. Gonna just get to Mithrandir's chambers. We've been here already gathering the fireworks for the wedding, among other things. And here we go. Chronicle of Arnor. This dense volume is bound in leather on the line of kings. This heavy tome has been kept in remarkable condition. Yeah, I guess Mithrandir is the kind of person that would cherish his books. But at the same time, he travels a lot, so if he at any point carries the books with them, those tomes will see a lot of wear. So I'm stumbled. How does he keep his books? How many books will he keep for traveling? Not too many, I guess, because, well, books are heavy and not that useful when traveling, but... Okay, I'm overthinking this way too much than I should. Here you have your books. You found them? Mithrandir glances to his right and looks at Frodo and Samwise. Yes, yes, this will do. Ah yes, Beriathan, I suppose I owe you an explanation as to why I requested these particular tomes. You see, Mithrandir gestures to Frodo and Samwise and hands them the tomes. Frodo and Sam place the tomes on their seats and hop back onto them. Mithrandir smiles at you. Need I explain further? After all, I cannot be everywhere at once. Not as you so often seem to be. That is the depths having fun, once again, with how omniscient our characters seem to be at times. But well, there we go. A nice little quest, and also a very fun turn of expectations. You would think Mithrandir has a purpose for the books, a scholar purpose for the books. But well, he's just using them to help our 2 hobbit friends, which is a fun little conclusion to this quest, if you ask me. Also a really short one, it seems, and especially if you know where to go from the get-go. But in any case, we are done with Mithrandir now, and the only member of the Fellowship missing now, and the closure to this quest will come when we talk to Aragorn. So I'll be back with you when I'm ready to continue with him. Alright, here we are at the last day for this chain, and we are only missing Aragorn now.
What more could I ask of one who has done so much?
King Aragorn II Elessar smiles at you. My words fail me, Beriathan. To be united with my love at last brings me greater joy than I thought knowable by men. Even so, I must address my people and my honored guests. Such is the duty of a king. I would offer a toast to all in attendance this night. Would you quiet the tables that I might speak? Absolutely, my king. Before we continue, however, something that I just realized last night is this on the table. The Scepter of Illustrious that Elrond brought last time, and Duril as well, the Crown of Gondor as described in the book, all in front of Aragorn and Arwen. I cannot tell you how many times have I been in this hall, and I still hadn't noticed this, and I think it's such an amazing detail and it looks so good. I already taken a few pictures because, of course, I would. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out to you in case you hadn't noticed. It's such a nice detail. And now we're just going to quiet the tables so that Aragorn can give his speech. 14 tables. This is also one of the shorter quests, I believe. Well, in terms of what you need to do, quieting the tables actually doesn't take that long. It is what comes after that can be quite lengthy, but it's totally worth it, and it's so fitting, in my opinion, ending today's episode, of course, with Aragorn's speech at the banquet. I wouldn't have it any other way, really. So, let us see. Halfway through, I mean, something really simple. A little time consuming, but simple. There we go. It's also quite fitting as well, revisiting all the tables, as that gives you a small chance of reminiscing about some of the guests that you see at the tables, some of the quests we have done for them so far as well. So yeah, I really enjoy how this quest plays out, even if it's a really simple quest.
You have my thanks, and those of the High Queen.
Allow me to offer a toast, my friend. Be seated if you wish. You have my thanks and those of the High Queen.
May you evermore find yourself surrounded by family and friends. And together, may we share in the love that binds us as one.
That was it, really. And with these, now that we have completed Aragorn's quest, we have also completed the deed, a Feast of Fellowship, with a new title, Banqueteer. So, is this one over here, some tokens, and the title. And here we go. The wedding banquet of King Elessar and Queen Arwen continued long into the night, and you were among the last of the Fellowship to take your leave. We have also completed the Rapper quest, of course, and with this we have completed also the final tier of Midsummer quests. So let us check that as well. We have a Midsummer frame, another title, a Midsummer Merrymaker. You have celebrated Midsummer for many days. Wherever you go, the joy of Midsummer is not far behind you. And well, the other two deeds, the other two tiers, the starter and the intermediate tiers, would only give you tokens. The extra rewards come with the final tier, with the title and the frame. Let me show you the frame as well, which is this one with all the flowers. Very fitting for the summer season as well. And now let me also go outside. There is one more thing I want to show you, but I need to be outside for that. Because as you can imagine, 120 Midsummer quests will give you a lot of tokens, so I used some of those tokens to get some of the mounts that you can get in here. For example, the Blackroot Steed is this one over here. The Blackroot Sigil, which is what I think it's the Stone of Edek. Now we have Lamedon Steed. This one is really nice. I mean, it's a really, muted colors, I guess, so it's not precisely my style, but it does look nice, in my opinion. We have 11 instead. You might remember 11 in, and the river coming through Tierhat, I believe it was. I don't remember the name of the town anymore, but much like Osgiliath is a city divided by a river, so leveling's banner will reflect that as well, of course. Just gotta... Lean here. My bad. It was lean here. So Tierhat is something else. But anyway, we have there the steed of Levenin, and lastly, the steed of Losarnach, which comes with the flower motif of Losarnach. You might remember in Blood Melwy and all. And I just want to double check because I think these steeds have really funny names. Arnie. This one is Levi. Yeah. The Lamedan steed is called Lammy, of course. And the Blacksfruit steed is what? Blackie? BL. Okay. Okay. Don't understand this one yet. BL or black? Is that what it is? Anyway, I think that's, well, what I wanted to show you, and that is truly it for all the Midsummer activities and rewards. Well, not all of them, but the ones I wanted to show you that you can get in Minas Tirith. So with this, we can count Midsummer as concluded. I'm actually not gonna be going into Minas Morgul with this frame. I wanted to show you the frame, but I just wanna take advantage of the fact that very recently I finally hit level 100 on the legendary servers, and that gave me this Beacon of Gondor frame, which at first I thought it's too much, is huge, but for role-playing purposes I think I'm gonna keep it, especially now that we're going to Minas Morgul, fulfilling the wish of Aragorn. In the name of Aragorn and Gondor, we are reclaiming the Morgul Vale, so it makes sense for us to be going in it with the Beacon of Gondor frame. But that's truly it. That's truly it for Midsummer and the Midsummer celebrations. Join me next time as we will finally travel into the Morgul Vale and start reclaiming it. For the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.